So Tesla have just released their figures for last year. That's the end of Q4 and therefore the end of the financial year of 2020. And the market has immediately taken it as a negative. I think technically they've missed on their sales targets, revenue, but to be honest, I don't really care. Looking at the report that I'm reading, everything that I'm seeing is it's completely on track for what I was expecting. So the short-term movements within the share price, to be honest, just doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm fairly confident that in the next couple of months, this price is going to be roaring back up again. So let's just go over the details that are in here and work out what the most important bits are for us as long-term shareholders and how it's going to impact us and the share price in the next coming year. So first of all, we've got delivery numbers of vehicles, and in total we're up 61% on last year. So obviously significant growth there, really good numbers, and that's for the total year-on-year growth. So brilliant numbers, and when we're looking at what Tesla is saying within this report, they're also saying that they're expecting to continue production ramping up and to continuously increase production by an average of about 50% each year, which is brilliant, really, when you think about it. I mean, obviously, when you think at the end of 2019, they announced the 1 millionth car rolling off of the production line, and yet by the end of 2020, they've announced 500,000 cars being produced, which is just fantastic. So obviously, by that figure, we should be expecting 750,000 cars being delivered in 2021, and then obviously continuously growing on from there. So the next really interesting thing to see is a growth of 41% of supercharger stations being installed, which again, it just helps so much with things like range anxiety. It gets the branding out there, people seeing the chargers, and obviously people seeing Tesla chargers over the other chargers, and also increasing existing customers' brand loyalty by the fact that there's more chargers, more availability. So just a win-win there all the way around. They've also had significant growth with the battery storage and the solar. To me, honestly, at this stage, that's not really important. I mean, they are quite low numbers anyway. Significant growth is great, but for example, the storage is just being constantly limited by the batteries, which obviously are more used to us in vehicles. So really, I think they're only kind of using spare battery capacity in the storage. Any kind of batteries they can spare, that's where they go. If they can't spare them, they're not going to use them. So it kind of seems a bit pointless looking at those numbers, to be fair. But good numbers nonetheless, showing growth, showing demand. So we can't really complain about that, can we? Slight further update with the Dojo supercomputer. So that's their computer that's going to be working on developing the self-driving element of the business. Not quite sure where that's going. It's not particularly clear. Obviously, they are constantly coming up with new updates. So Elon is constantly kind of like, it's just around the corner, it's just around the corner. How around the corner it is, it really kind of, it's going to take us a while to see that. Until we actually get it, I think we're not going to know. So hopefully soon, but they're still working on it. So that's promising, I guess. They also have updated insides for the Model S. Now, I've heard people saying that this is for the Plaid. It doesn't say the Plaid, it says the Model S on the first two pictures, followed by the Plaid for the external. So I would assume that therefore means that this is the internal designs, and I mean, it's looking pretty cool. Obviously, you've still got the standard screen in the middle, And now you do have a little dashboard screen, which I don't have in my Model 3, which kind of frustrating sometimes. Pluses and minuses for having that screen, but personally I would actually prefer it. But the other little kind of bonus is there's now a little screen in the back seat as well. So just in like the centre bit down at the bottom, little screen for kids to watch or whatever. So that's really cool. Pictures of the factory and how it's kind of getting on. So plenty of really promising bits and pieces coming out of this. But the bit that's actually got me the most excited out of all of this is pretty much something that's been coming soon for quite a long time. So obviously taking this with a pinch of salt, but it does say that the Tesla Semi should be coming this year. So that for me, that's kind of like that's going to be a really big thing for Tesla, and it's going to really impact the business positively. Hopefully that's going to be this year then. Who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see. As with the full self-driving, it kind of seems to be a little bit of a we'll believe it when it actually kind of rolls off of the production line. But for me, all of this is definitely very, very positive news for the long-term growth of the company. Like I say, for me, regarding the short-term variation of the share price, I'm not really fussed because I know that long-term this is going to pay off. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.